You need to glance at that?
No. So, all
2 points back. You got some back.
right, will you shut up? I got this under control. I don't need your help. I seen the questions you normally write. Put that away.
Make your way to the inspection area for your mandatory driver's meeting.
So it's mandatory every week for the driver, spotter, and owner to show up at a driver's meeting.
Alrighty, get everybody's attention here. I'll try to make this quick.
So driver's meetings are pretty simple. Everyone shows up to the tech shack after the second round of practice.
They basically go over just the general rules and what they expect from us during the race.
You know, the same stuff every single week unless there's an issue on the track the week prior. You know, they bring it up.
We're getting a little bit lax in lining up when we're calling you to line up.
Tom Fox runs the driver's meeting, and he's also the competition director at Stafford.
We do not wait if you don't get around back because people have missed their event. We don't waste a lap here, we don't waste a minute here, we get through the show.
You know, when you go to a driver's meetings, some guys like the rookies, the ones that aren't veterans and ain't been around a while, they go there and they listen to every little thing.
Rookies, all divisions, passing flag here means get to the bottom. Also a reminder, we have a 3-spin rule here. If you're the cause of us needing to go yellow on 3 separate occasions in one event, you will be asked to pull it down pit road and park for the event.
So it is informative. You have to be paying attention clearly. But it is a time to, at the same time, talk to your buddy and see what happened last week when something is being told that you already knew was going on.
Any other questions? Thank you.
I'm calling him a bitch.
Oh!
See, back when he used to race Teddy back in 09, like when Keith got him, he bombed him into 3, got him going out of 4, and then Teddy came and tried wrecking him back into 1. That was really, I don't know about now.
Marcello, how many races you win this year?
You wanna go there?
Keep putting the stickers on the car. You're doing good.
Corey and I started racing legend cars together 2013 and 14. We turned into us hunting. We actually go to the same school together and hang out pretty much every single weekend, along with Narducci and Marcello, a bunch of other people that we know. So there's a bond between all of us. So it was definitely kind of difficult when I took him out of contention of his first win.
We got wrecked by Michael Christopher Jr. I don't know if his dad was driving on the radio or if he was driving that night.
Michael Christopher steps on the gas, moves back into second, and here comes Ronnie Williams. Oh, trouble now!
Christopher and DiMatteo.
A mad
Christopher
scramble.
tried to make a bottom shot, and there were sparks flying between he and DiMatteo.
Coming out of turn 2, I was pushing Mikey down the backstretch. Could see that Corey I already had gotten away. And going into 3, Mikey kind of like made a low move, and Corey was like a little bit higher. And when those 2 touched, I'm like, oh great, here we go. This is going to be pretty bad, but somehow we were able to make it through on the outside.
So I hit him so hard that it actually took me out of the race, so I had to sit back and watch the last few laps in the pits.
After the incident with Mikey and Corey, there was only a few laps to go, and I knew Kopsik was right behind me. He'd been strong the last month, so he's going to be a tough guy to beat. We kind of already had a run-in with the TC shootout race, the 40-lapper race. Going into that final lap, he made a real nice move.
1 to go when they hit the line.
Off the turn, here comes Kopsik, makes a bold move to the inside.
Crossed me over coming out of 4, got on the inside of me. And then at that point, it was just, I either hang on the outside of him, come in second, or try making a move. And you always remember the little stuff that happens during the races.
Williams is right there on his back bumper.
Going down into turn 3, just gave him a little bump, moved him off the racetrack a little bit, and we were able to come home with the win.
Checkers are out, and it'll be Ronnie Williams to take down the win. Stephen Kopsik to finish in second.
When he came over to me in victory lane, I still had all my helmet and stuff on, so I couldn't really hear him, but I heard a good race, and I heard the F word, so. The only reason why I booted him out of the way was because I felt like he did me wrong in that TC 40-lap race. I felt he ran me up the track, hit me into turn 1, didn't pass me clean, so race how you be raced.
I didn't need a whole lot more than what I had, other than not to get pelted in the rear bumper, but it's unfortunate that that happened. They think they owe us one, but we'll get them back. to watch them cry.
After the race, I was obviously frustrated myself. My father was even more frustrated with me. So I went over to Corey's trailer after the race and apologized, and he didn't really have much to say.
Should have won once, got wrecked by my best friend, so that was tough to deal with. But what comes around goes around, so I'm sure he'll get his in the near future.
Who's your best friend?
Was or is?
Obviously not my plan, and I felt terrible afterwards, especially because how close we are off the racetrack. I just chalk it up as that's a mistake that I made, and put that in the memory bank and make sure I don't do something like that again. So looking at the point standings this year, I'm not really surprised because Todd has shown that he has a really fast car and he stays consistent, doesn't get into many messes on the racetrack, and that's what it takes.
We'll see what happens this week, It'll be another fun day at Stafford. Coming up next, the fastest division of the night, Stafford's own SK Modifieds.
One good thing about the Stafford handicap system is that if you've had multiple bad finishes, the next week you get to start up front. So this week I start from the pole.
So the field rumbles down to turn number 1, Matt, and there's no question about it. It is Mikey Christopher. And right alongside is the number 6, kind of what we saw 1 week ago, but it was reversed when the DiMatteo machine was the leader of the pack.
Corey had a fast car again and got by me early in the race.
We have a battle for the lead. Here comes Corey DiMatteo, the camo kid in the number 6 car, and DiMatteo is taking over the lead on lap number 4.
There's that one night a year that you have that car that's just phenomenal.
Here comes Keith Rocco to the outside. Like he was shot out of a bow, that arrow moves into the 4th spot.
That race was one of those nights that car was just absolutely phenomenal.
Clear all around here. Let's run our line.
And Mike Christopher, he had an opening momentarily, and here he comes again. But Cipriano closes the door, and as Christopher in trouble, as Rocco makes contact with Cipriano and barrels into the wall.
The car was just so fast, I drove down into turn 1, and I drove all the way up alongside of little Michael. I got my left front to the outside of Cipriano's right rear, and then it was just like he came up the racetrack out of nowhere.
Obviously he tried to save it, went back up the track and collected Keith. Obviously I was the one that hit him.
Anytime you see a car going off on a double hook, it's usually not a good thing. They're usually done for the night and have a lot of work to do that week.
I'm looking at the right front of this Keith Rocco machine. He didn't want to talk to me about what happened, but there is a lot of damage here.
So when they came up to interview me, I just tried to be politically correct, and rather than saying something wrong, sometimes you just got to pass and say, I'm all set, and that was the best thing I could do because we were pretty aggravated.
And then a couple laps later, the same deal happened, except Corey was in front of me, and he became the victim of my crimes that night.
Off the turn, Matt. They're wheel to wheel, the bottom of turn number 1. Trouble now. DiMatteo goes around.
We got into turn 1 to where I hit him in the left rear and just shot his car sideways. So I feel like it wasn't like a big hit that would cause something like that to happen, but it did.
And black flag is being issued for aggression on the racetrack on the number 82 car. Here comes Owen. Great move to the inside. Cipriano going as they come off turn number 4. Who will make it to the stripe first? Owen. It is Todd Owen, the brand new leader. Trouble now. Glen Reen is involved, and we've got a scramble of cars.
1/3 of the field is between turns 1 and 2.
So we were running in the top 5 that night, and I believe I just gotten by Talman. Obviously, either didn't clear him or he wasn't happy how I went by him or whatever. And we wound up getting spun, and there was a huge accident that happened for a lot of other people, so that sucked as well.
When Thomas spun Reen out, it was kind of just a big thing of smoke, and it's usually always good to follow the guy who either spun out the guy, because that's usually the way path is clear. So just followed Talman through, and we made it out alive. Going into turn 3, I could see that right in front of me that Cipriano kind of made a bonsai move.
Cipriano does the crossover down underneath Moeller.
I'm like, well, I'm going to back up for this because sparks are about to fly, and sure enough, it was all melee after that.
Throws the car in at a ton.
Thankfully, I was able to make it through without getting hurt.
They are sideways.
And someone got sideways in that mess, and guys were just trying to make it through and got caught up in it. So we did the best thing. Luckily, there was no one coming full speed behind us, or we probably would have had some damage, but we were able to make it by.
So I'm pretty sure we started second on the last restart, and I was sleeping.
Off turn number 4, Todd Owen.
Boy, he had a great restart against Glen Reen.
If I'd had a good restart on that, I think we also would have had a shot at the 81. But then, next thing I know, Ronnie and I are battling door to door.
And look at that battle for second.
Glen was digging on the outside of me.
Glen Reen continues to dig on the outside.
We thought we cleared him a couple times.
And if I could have been on the bottom, I think we would have been able to drive away, but...
Side-by-side confrontation between Williams and Reen. And Williams with a bit of an upper hand as they slingshot their way out of turn number 2. Here comes Reen. He has life coming off of the backstretch, and Reen trying to take second away from Ronnie Williams.
He was able to hang out there and just kind of being a thorn in my side.
While those two competitors are fighting it out, this gives Todd Owen the opportunity to run away.
Now there is action for second. Williams getting challenged from behind by Corey DiMatteo.
They come off turn number 4. DiMatteo now forces Glen Reen to either go for it or have to settle behind him.
And then I'm battling with the 6 car.
Here comes Corey DiMatteo with Reen still in that battle on the outside lane. This time, when they come off turn number 4, as they work their magic back to the line, it is still a side-by-side battle for third.
Going into 1, I think it was 2 to go, and my spotter said there's clear behind them, so I figured I'd cross him over, and I was able to get back to his bottom side and just drive away, and we wound up finishing third.
Off turn number 4, Todd Owen, not only the point leader, but back in the winner's circle here at Stafford. Ronnie Williams finishes in second, Glen Reen for third.
We're just fighting to do what we got to do to stay ahead here, so a great night for us.
We have some homework to do to catch Todd and these guys. He was fast today, congrats to them.
We had some bad luck. We got spun over in turn 1. We were able to rally back.
It's always good to be on Glen's good side. You never know what he's going to do, so having one guy out there being on your side is usually a good thing. So you try not getting into him, but that race in particular, me and him are battling for second as we're seeing Owen drive away, and of course that pisses you off because you want to win. You don't want to finish second or third, and of course after the race he comes up to me and great race. I'm like, yeah, it would have been a good race if we were battling for the lead, but watching the guy drive away from us, it kind of sucks.